Right. Welcome to the Helm Public Developer Meeting. This is March 12th. We do this every week, and we typically follow the same format. We'll kick it off with some announcements. Then core maintainers will go around and give their weekly updates, and then we'll follow that by a fixed agenda, which is in the notes that I believe Bridget has just posted in the channel there. So does anybody have some announcements?
It's good to be back. That's all.
I'm checking real quick to see if there were any written ones. I don't see any written ones either. Okay. The one announcement that I think Matt Farina probably would have pointed out is that the early access to the CNCF hub has gone up. For those of you who are not familiar with this project, CNCF approached us in December and approached various other groups and said, well, we're thinking about doing like some kind of big unified hub so that we can reduce the amount of hunting and searching people have to do in order to find packages to install on Kubernetes. This was a very cool idea. We very gladly joined in that endeavor, and Matt Farina has been involved in reviewing their progress as they've gone. Surprisingly, they got things done very, very quickly, and so they have already posted that preview thing there. Preview site there that looks that pulls in, I think, everything, or at least most of the things that are currently on Helm Hub. And just as a kind of forward-looking statement, the plan is once CNCF Hub goes live, we will migrate our Helm Hub content to there and then gradually phase out the Helm Hub. So this is something that we envision long-term as replacing Helm Hub and augmenting it. It's exciting because it will also be able to host other kinds of objects like operators that are not packaged as Helm charts. So the idea is that users will be able to come here, search for whatever they're looking for, and see all the different options that they have for installing that, which I think all in all is a huge win for CNCF in general. All right, I think that yes, I am wearing a hoodie today. I know, no tie, no sweater, nothing. I've worked from home for the entire time I've been at Deus and Microsoft, and now all of a sudden it's caught up to me that I can just wear a t-shirt and a hoodie and feel totally good about that. All right, so let's go ahead and kick it off with stand-ups. Bridget, you wanna start?
Sure. As I just said in the chat, it is clearly the end times, and we have this sign of the apocalypse of Butcher being Cash. But other than that, I was pulled in other directions this week and completely failed to even connect with Fisher on issue triage. So I'm looking forward to hearing about how everyone else's week has gone. And yes, this is definitely one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Taylor.
I have been not doing much in the Helm space right now, and this next week I have some family stuff that's come up and some vacation coming up, so I will not be doing much with Helm, but if somebody needs something, please ping me directly and I'll do the best I can to handle it. Let's pass it off to Fisher.
Same here. So I've been triaging issues, by the most part, just like attaching a label. That's really been what I've been doing for the past week, is attaching labels and seeing if I could ping them to see what they've been following up on. So that's been the majority of my week. Right now, I'm just kind of working on other stuff. So this follow-up week, I think it's going to be more or less the same. It's just going to be asking people how they're doing, kind of following up and making sure things aren't getting lost. But yeah, let's go, Adam.
Yeah, this week spent some more time on the issue of depreciated Kubernetes API versions. Talked to Matt Farina. He said he heard a rumor that it possibly could be done by some of the by somebody from 6 CLI. I'm still coming up short, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to spend on this issue. Probably follow up with Farina on that. Let's go, Mark.
All right. I work with Martin, and we added completion to the plugin 2 to 3. I've also finished, after fighting with it a little bit, the feature for fish shell completion. I just need a review. I'm hoping to get it into 3.2. To be fair, it's a large patch, but the real part that needs another pair of eyes is when I played around with the plugin code, load plugin.go. I just want to make sure that nothing broke. But for the rest of the stuff, it's, it's a new feature. I'm not too worried. And finally, I'm doing a review for the in-memory cache concept that Behab is posted. That's it. Martin.
Yeah, kind of a quiet week, like other people as well. So we had a few things around the migration plugin as well. So thanks to Mark for putting in the completion. And also he fixed a nice bug as well with the environmental variables being mapped in as a plugin. It just shows that people like me just run the binary without reading the plugin. So yeah, there we go. I'm also putting in capability to just remove a release on its own on a cleanup. So that was an extra piece of, so it just shows you that as people are using it, they're looking for different pieces of functionality around it, So yeah, so we're just getting those things in. So that's nearly there on that. One of the things, if people get a chance, is to, thanks to Fisher for doing a review of the library charts. And if anyone else gets a chance, would you have a look at that? Because it's kind of a thing that the community have been looking for. It's mostly around examples and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's good on the docs. But we had a good laugh there the other day, myself and Fisher, that we realize no matter how many docs you read, people don't read the docs. So go figure. So, but the great thing I found over the years is that since docs became web-based, and you can actually post the URL, so it just makes it more satisfying when you go, yeah, try reading this, and see how you get on with that. So yeah, so I'll hand over next to let me see who hasn't gone next, to Scott.
Cool. Not much to say this week. Very quiet. I was heads down. I'm actually not sure what I'm doing next, but it was great to see the CNCF hub. It's much more scalable, and I haven't actually given feedback to that email thread yet, just because I've agreed with everything. But I'll probably just post a couple of thumbs up because it all sounds great. Jacob?
I've been working on this Helm ownership stuff and making it possible to adopt existing resources if they have the correct ownership annotations. I added an item to the agenda today. I kind of doubt we'll get to it, but please go turn a critical eye to that, because it adds a couple new annotations that we really have to commit to maintaining for a long time, probably. But there's some test cases there as well, and some overly verbose error messages. But I think it's going to make for a much nicer experience for anyone who's working with charts and then goes and has corrupted metadata for their chart storage, release metadata, or goes and deletes something but has a resource stick around and then creates the same installation later. It's going to be really nice. After that's merged, I plan to also work on implementing a import command, or someone's called it commandeer before, so that you can adopt existing resources explicitly into a release. Yeah.
Jacob, just for posterity, can you share in the chat what that issue is? Then we can just throw that in the notes just for future reference.
Yes, I think Taylor filed it. I'll find it. It's also linked to inside the pull request. That's it. Let's see, Bridget, did you go yet? I don't know who else has not gone.
I don't think Josh has gone. Who else?
I was hoping I'd be forgotten. I have not much to add. There was an interesting PR that came in that I'm hoping I can get someone's eyes on regarding sourcing dependency charts from OCI. So pretty cool to see people taking on that type of stuff. So I'll paste that here. But other than that, I feel like the week didn't happen. So back to Sir Butcher.
We didn't miss anybody, did we? Okay. So the main thing I've been working on, and I've been working pretty close with Matt Farina on this, is Helm is in the queue to go up for graduation from CNCF. But there have been some little hiccups here and there trying to figure out what the process for that is, with the SIGs now as part of the process. So we have been working on trying to get things through. We don't have confirmation, but we are tentatively on the docket for the 17th, which is next week, for presenting to the TOC. And that, as far as I understand it, would open the voting cycle, assuming we pass the presentation okay. So I've got a presentation ready for next week. We finished the silver badge for CII by finishing up the what is that thing? Security assurance case. And then and then Matt Farina has posted on the TOC list, which I should have looked up before this. Yeah, I know. Of any day, we got to go for the luck of the Irish day for proposing this to CNCF. If only I was Irish. But yeah, so that's what's coming up next week. I'm worried about it, but also pretty excited. It feels like with about 1,000 companies that we actively know of using Helm, probably an order of magnitude higher than that, and millions of downloads a month, I feel like we should be in fairly good shape. Great security reviews. So all the things they typically look for in the checklist, we have long ago signed off on. So it's just kind of a matter of making sure that we nailed the new process, and I'm still a little worried about that. So that's really what's been taking up all of my time, and probably will between now and the 17th. But if all goes well, that is really our last major organizational hurdle. And from there on, we are graduated and we're a top tier project, and we don't have to do anything other than our annual reports to the CNCF. So excellent news, and I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so let's jump from that into the first item on the agenda, which is Matt Farina added a release for 3.1.2 with the comment on there that it will get cut later today. I'm assuming by him, unless someone else here gets to it first. Do we have anything we need to discuss about that particular milestone?
Let me quickly take a look at the milestone. Last I checked, though, I think everything was addressed. Yeah, it's 100% complete, so we have everything we need in there. So it's just a matter of cherry picking everything into the release branch and cutting it. So unless there's anything else that is not targeted or not currently on the 3.1.2 milestone, those obviously won't get in. But if there is something missing, then I guess please let Matt Farina know. We can probably try and get that cherry picked in.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, when I checked on it last, it looked like it was pretty solid. Okay, Mark, do you want to kick off your anything else on that one before I go on to the next? Okay, Mark, you want to kick off your discussion of the vision for Helm Hub, how to choose the right chart for a product?
Yeah, now with the announcement of this CNCF hub, I'm not even sure. I guess this consolidation we're looking into how to prepare for using it, what kind of vetting is there going to be? So is there documentation on the proposal for this migration from the stable repo? Because to be honest, I was surprised that the stable repo, if I understand correctly, is going to go away.
Yes, the plan is for the stable charts repo to gradually get replaced.
Okay, so at the City of Montreal, we want to kind of prepare, know what we're going to be doing. So if somebody can post a link to documentation, that'd be great. If there is none, then maybe we can discuss it.
Yeah, we should really get going on that because I think the clock is ticking a little bit on that one. Matt, Farina, Scott, and Reinhard were the ones who had talked about that before. Scott, do you have anything on there you want to?
Yeah, I'll post into the notes doc some of the documentation that we have. Only very recently I made a tracking issue, but I haven't really filled that out yet. The tracking issue is just to help the community feel confident where charts are going. The process, just so you know, though, is it's not it is documented how the process works, but at the moment you have to go into each chart's README in the stable repo, and it then shows you forwarding information and all of that. But I am making just a central issue so that people can see the progress of migrating things over. That is really just stubbed out, but I should have mentioned in my stand-up that that's something that we'll be fleshing out really soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody else would like to add on getting involved in that process or anything? All right. Okay, so the next one is Helm SH used to have a link to SIGApp's meeting recordings. Now it just points to the meetings hash. Do you have a specific link or playlist to publish the Helm dev call? Because these do get recorded, yes. And then there's another one that's posting Helm dev call videos. Yeah, so background, we used to be associated with SIGApps, and some of this stuff ran through SIGApps. We are no longer associated in any way with SIGApps, and so we have been recording these separately on a separate account for quite a while. And do we not have a playlist anywhere? I'm always at these meetings, so I never go to watch.
I mean, I assume that there's a playlist somewhere. I would love if somebody could link it from that GitHub thing.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
I can post on there and share where that is, but it's on, we do have a Helm YouTube channel, and on the Helm YouTube channel, there is a playlist that I believe has all the Helm community meetings. So I can share that after this.
I even think that might have been embedded in the website at one point, but then there were various site redesigns, and now this link to a place that doesn't have it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a couple of times before, YouTube playlists were like a constant ephemeral thing, so it was a little bit harder to link it back then. But we can definitely take a look at seeing if we can get a hard link for the Helm community stuff there. And following up onto that, because I know, Mark, you're asking about the Helm dev call videos. I think it's been, so we've been recording all of these, like what Matt Butcher did with recording them to the cloud, but I don't think we've actually done the follow-up work to actually post that to the YouTube video. So I think one of us, I can actually take the action item to go into the to the Zoom account and to actually migrate those over to the YouTube account. So then we have all those over there, and then we should figure out some kind of process to do that. So I can probably share that information so that we can log into the Zoom account and migrate all those over to the YouTube channel. So I'll take that action item on.
All right, as our timer keeps ticking, I'm gonna keep plowing through. Oh, go ahead, Adam.
Just one last thing. There's a doc in Keybase that has all the information in there for YouTube.
Okay, Martin, you want to kick off discussion of accepting the Helm plugin utils project into helm.org with background on when that was requested or who requested that and all of that?
Okay, so I can't remember the timeline, but it's probably about 2-3 weeks ago, a little bit longer. I sent the request via Matt Farina. So he was going to pop it onto the Helm org. So I'm just wondering what's the progress of that, and any kind of idea when there might be some feedback on one way or the
other. And you said this came through Matt Farina?
Yeah, I mailed it on to Matt, and he was going to mail it to the Helm org group.
Yeah, I'm looking at my current org maintainers list, and I don't see anything if I search for plugin util or plugin-utils. So I don't think it was ever put to a vote. So I think what we can do is we can push that back up and
let's
put that to a call to a vote.
Yeah, I
to next week.
can if you can't get it, if someone can't get it, just ping me before the end of your day, and I'll send it on to you tomorrow. Start my day.
That might be why Matt Farina was asking a couple questions about what the process is for adopting a project under the Helm arc. So yeah, let's so we can add that for sure to next week's meeting so that we can revisit that and see where things are.
Yeah, because I think technically we might want to discuss it to see where it sits, or if it sits well enough there, or how we want to sit it, in other words. So there's a lot of, I think that there'll be a bit of over and back technically on it, I'd imagine, because I'm in between as well where I sit on that. So yeah.
Okay. Let's move to we got a kind of big docs issue that has a couple things. Improvements to the library chart docs, which Martin's got tagged for him. And then plugin shell completion, which is a 3.2 feature that Mark wants to plug. So let's do Martin's library charts doc and then roll from that straight into Mark's.
Yeah, this will be very quick because I want to direct this at you, Butcher, actually, because I think you might want to, I know, yeah. You might want to have a look at this. So I said Fisher reviewed it already, and I think it's worth getting another set of eyes on it as well, because it's, what people are requesting is docs to show how do you use these common charts and library charts and a whole lot. And you being the godfather of the common chart, the Neil Young of the common charts, you know what I mean? I think it's more than worth giving you a subtle compliment there and throwing a kind of a rock on you as well to say, hey, you go in there and have a look at it and see what you think. Yeah. Okay. So I'll leave that in your very capable hands, and whenever you get a chance, it'll be grand. Thanks.
Well played there. I mean, if you're going to butter me up and try and get me to review something, that's probably the way to do it. All right, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, it's just that since Martin posted something about the docs, I wanted to mention I have plugin completion doc posted, and since it's been committed to master for Helm, I'd like the docs to get in before 3.2 or after 3.2.
I actually was passively reading it during this meeting, and I took a look at it and just LGTM'd it. So I think that should be good to go. So
thank you. I don't have rights to commit, so maybe somebody else wants to do it.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and merge it if you're okay with that.
Yeah. I'll have a look at you if you have any comments. Thank you.
Perfect.
So you were reading that while I was talking, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, the doc jumped. Okay, so where are we here now? Okay. Follow-up meeting on Kubernetes 1.16. Mark, you want to kick that one off too?
So last week I missed the meeting. That's why I wanted to see the video. Adam, thank you, had a look at the issue with Cube 16 that removed APIs, and it said in the doc, or in this document, that a follow-up meeting was warranted. I was just curious about it because we are dealing with it at work. Will there be a follow-up meeting?
Yeah, I can. Farina's not here, so I can ping him and find out what's the plan with that, because he had some more information on it.
Okay, if you don't mind including me, I'm very curious. Thank you.
Yeah, Adam, maybe include me as well, because I had a crazy idea in my head of a kind of maybe a workaround as a plugin, if we can't do it a nice way.
I've been waiting for this entire call to do this next issue, so I'm very excited that we have finally gotten to this point. The suggestion is that we should split the meeting notes file by decade, because it's getting kind of long. We had this issue come up in one of the other open source projects I had, and somebody just migrated the last year to a markdown document and then put that in the community repo for that project. That seemed to work pretty well, because then it's just sitting there in code, and since you don't really need to edit past meeting minutes, it seems to be fine as a markdown document instead of an editable document. When you have a chance, Mark, would you mind opening an issue in the community repo for that?
The community repo. That's
Yeah.
the Helm
Helm
community?
community, yeah. Because I think that's
Okay.
where, that's the parent repo for this document, this particular document.
Sure,
But yeah,
will do.
apologize about that. This is what we actually have a couple of years of data now in this document. Okay.
In case somebody didn't see it in the chat, I think it would be great if we, before people start dropping off, get volunteers for next time.
That's right, because we are at time. I'm gonna quickly scan. Jacob, I will take a look at that issue. I already have it up. And we can punt Tough and Notary to next week if everybody's okay about that. We have been doing some work on that. And Vaibhav, you'll be here next week, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be here.
Okay.
I'd love to have a discussion on it. Yeah. I was thinking of doing a POC on it and trying it out. So I tried out Notary a bit. So I basically wanted to, if you have time, like kind of discuss how it goes. Like, so if you're fine with it, we can do it next week also. That's not an
Yeah,
issue.
that would be excellent. We have a lot of interest in that right now, so definitely something we should do. Okay, who wants to do my job next week? This job next week?
I can do moderating next week.
We have 2 votes for that. Adam or Matt, either one of you can pick that up. And then we've got notes for next week. Anybody want to do notes for next week? Okay, Bridget, and anybody want to? Oh, and then we need a triage volunteer for the next person. 1 or 2 people for triage next week. Should have started with that one. Should have bribed people for that one.
Not up there.
Last person to hang up is that I can actually take part of it because I'll be doing a ton of homework next week. So I'll sign up for 1 of the 2 triage slots. So
I intended to do it the last week and missed it. So I will try to follow you on this one.
Okay. All right. With that, we'll wrap up today's meeting. Thank you all for being here and participating. We will do this again same time next week. Well, same time depending on which time zone shift which week. Thank you, especially for people not in North America, for adjusting to the surprise time change. You'd think we'd be better at collaborating on things like this. But anyway, we'll see you all again next week. Thanks again. Have a great week. Bye.
See you all. Thank you, guys.
Bye.